Welcome to our live S&P 500 Futures Elliott Wave Analysis, where we track the market as it unfolds in real time. The S&P 500 index is testing key levels, and today's session could provide critical clues about the market's next big move. Will the bulls reclaim control, or are we setting up for another leg down? We'll be analyzing an evolving wave structure to confirm potential setups, tracking Fibonacci levels to identify key inflection points, watching momentum indicators for signs of continuation or reversal, and reviewing real-time candlestick formations that could shape the next big trend. For middle and long-term perspectives, check out our weekly digest videos where we outline the broader Elliott Wave structure and key technical setups for the S&P 500 and other indices. Let's break down the charts and see what's next. So this is the 1-minute chart of ES futures that is working right now. So what we are seeing here, let's try to analyze it. So on Friday, we were seeing a very strong move upward, and at some point it even formed a very nice impulse, and I am talking about this perspective move. So this is a very nice impulse upward. So but then after that there started all things unfolding the other way around. So after the first impulse, we can see that there is no way that this wave is wave 3. So let us assume that we have wave 1 here. Let's say this was wave 1, and then we might consider this as a wave 2 here, potentially. Then after that, we have trouble. So there is one big overlap that prevents this wave from becoming wave 3. And I'm not even talking about that this wave is way too short compared to the very first wave. It's still legitimate, but it's a very unusual development for a bottoming pattern. So the only way that we can break this formation here is the corrective one. And I was thinking at the end of Friday that there is still a chance for forming a diagonal of some sort of, or just to have this wave as an extension for wave 1. But unfortunately, the opening very low and the move down technically invalidated both of these setups. So the only way right now I'm breaking this wave into one is the potential corrective structure, and most likely it's WXY. So this we are working here. So this is WXY because this wave is an APC itself, or even the WXY itself, because this wave, the final wave, is clearly a 3-waver, and it's not wave C in any way. So that's the perspective, and now we can mark this as potential wave A. And what we are seeing here. So first of all, this wave down. It looks like it is a very possible impulse. So we have wave 1, we have wave 2, we have fairly clear wave 3, wave 4, and wave 5. So they are not overlapping. So this gap here is still kind of questionable, but I think this is kind of normal for wave 3 to have it inside. And in this case, we might see this perspective. So this is wave that is working right now down, and what is happening is right now wave 2. Okay, so let's switch to, once we look at the very micro chart, so we can use a slightly bigger chart to get the better perspective. So now we are looking for two possible paths here. So first of all, I would be looking for a potential bigger correction here, and I'm talking about possible A, B, and this would be wave C, possibly. So there are still doubts about both of these paths because of this gap. So it might be a corrective wave here, wave B, and if we see an impulse or a diagonal here, this would be wave C. So let's have a look and measure it from Fibonacci perspective. So this is the length of wave A. Now we have wave B potentially retraced 62%, which is absolutely ideal for this type of wave. And now we can project potential targets for wave C. So I would expect wave C somewhere here, maybe a little bigger here. So this would be the perspective if this wave develops as an impulse. This is for an impulsive structure, and we can approximately measure this perspective. So maybe if it goes like this, so this would be, well, this is futures. It's very difficult to measure it here because this wave can be extended too much. But I would say that there is a chance it goes upward overnight. So it's much easier to make these measurements on the cash index, but on futures, when they overnight, sometimes we have very long waves, and it's not that accurate, this technique for the futures. So what? But anyway, this is the perspective, and we might see this sometime tomorrow morning, right? So this is one path that we are talking about. This let me change it to the red color so that we are matching here. So, and in our case, this would be perspective. Let me put it here. So this potentially wave 1, wave 2, might be wave 3, 4, and 5, somewhere here. Right, so this is the first path. Another path, it's a blue one. So potentially this wave, this is everything that we get for a corrective action. And this was the very first wave down. It could be an impulse. So we are assuming also that this is top of correction and this is wave 1. So now we are looking for wave 2. Wave 2 would be somewhere here. And let me maybe increase the font a little bit. So it's better, we have better visibility. So this is wave 1, potentially wave 1 and wave 2. What we know about this from Elliott Wave perspective, wave 2 cannot surpass the origin of wave 1. As soon as it breaks above this level, which is 5791, identified clearly, it's 5791. 5791. All right, so as long as this breaks 5791, then we would be looking for something bigger for potential an ABC correction, or it could be in WXY. That's also possible. Depends on what kind of wave it makes. Now, obviously, for the blue path, if it follows, then we would have this type of move, and then we would be looking for lower low somewhere there. And obviously we will have to measure it, and there are techniques to measure this one. We will get this once we have more information about this. And that's the perspective for the blue path. For the red path, well, we will be looking for this particular formation. And now let's assess what candles are telling us. And this would be an interesting story too. So this is the ES candles that are forming right now. What we are seeing here is that we have a very strong opening, bearish opening today. And this big candle is right now the major one that bulls need to overcome. So if they close above the high of this candle, it would be a bullish closure. So this high is 5.75625. Well, I'll leave it here. So this if the next candle or next few candles close above this level, then we would be looking for a move higher. But again, this is an hourly frame. This is an hour frame. So most likely it's going to be like overnight action. And if the candles, we might see a closure here, like a couple of green candles forming here below this red line, and even they can breach in the middle, but in general they have to close below this line. So if they are closing here, then we would be looking for another move down. That's from the candles perspective. If we look at the 2-day frame, 2-hour frame, so technically it's bearish so far, and we are seeing the next candle is developing down, but it's 1 hour 30 minutes to wait. And the 4-hour candle so far looking very bearish, I would say, because we have this doji that closed on Friday, and now this candle, if it closes in 1 hour 24 minutes below this particular level, below the low of this doji, it would be a bearish continuation candle. Well, that's as simple as that. And if you're interested in a bigger picture, which we are not showing this time, you can check our videos, our weekly digest that we posted yesterday. 2 big videos covering the market, multiple perspectives, including S&P 500 big charts. So the Elliott Wave structure in S&P futures is taking shape right now as we speak, and today's price action has given us important clues about the market direction. Whether this move confirms a bullish continuation or a deeper pullback, but we'll be watching the next critical levels closely. For a deeper mid and long-term perspective, make sure to check our weekly digest. Stay ahead with daily insights at investingangles.com. Join our stock and crypto subscription for just $10 a month, covering major stocks, Bitcoin, and private Discord access. By the way, the next video is gonna be the Bitcoin, and I'm planning to shoot it in a couple of hours. Follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Telegram, and Reddit for real-time updates. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss a critical market update. So, you fellow traders, thanks for watching, and as always, happy trading.